We're going hog wild on this motherfucker. I wonder if we got a content strike. That would fucking rock.
That would rock so hard.
That would fucking rock so hard.
We got a lot of canceling we need done. Lee Camp got canceled pretty hard.
Yeah.
We got to catch up behind the curve.
Well, I do need canceled again. It's been a while since I've been canceled. And I don't want to just wait for the election to get canceled. Do you know what I mean? Because
I
I am
was
going
never.
at the Dems hard this year. In years past, I've tried to play the game like all the other sock Dems. I'm not doing that shit no more.
No more.
No more. They done fucked up this time. They done fucked
Mm,
up this year because when everything is worse than when the Republican was in, it's hard to argue to ever vote for a Republican, but now it's hard to argue to vote for ever for a Democrat. Unless it's a specific Democrat that you actually know, like, will probably do some damage before they turn shit.
it's always been hard to vote for them.
Which is why this is not an official show endorsement, but I am intending to vote for John Fetterman. And if he's not the candidate, I'm still probably going to do it. Now, I'm not saying you have to. I certainly would not endorse him because that would be a violation of state law for me to do so. But if you're in Pennsylvania, that's what I plan to do, and then literally nobody else. Fuck the rest of them. Prove it. Sell me. Sell me. Where was your ringing endorsement for Bernie? Where were you in where were you in the Bernie versus anti-Bernie wars?
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Bill Maher says Trudeau's rhetoric is starting to sound like Hitler.
Sure it is.
Hey,
And
Bill.
of
Tell
course,
me
and
how.
of course he did, because he's an idiot.
Yeah, one Jew to another, Bill. Stop talking. You're the reason people hate us. I want you to mull that over. I always say that anti-Semitism is wrong, and then you talk, and I'm like, God damn it, they might have a point.
Over vaccines of all things. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh.
Mar is a shit stain. And you know what?
Yeah.
Yeah, consider that.
I've been following him because I value my sanity, but it sounds like he has not changed.
No, he's taken his smug atheism and now applied it to the right, which they all do. Like all of those atheist guys from like 2000 who were like hyper.
He's a real good grifter. He's a really good grifter.
They're not even grifters. It's just that's just who they are. They're just shitty people. Like that's
They're
like,
just okay.
like he's a rando with shitty opinions. He just happens to be an atheist. And in 2000, it was so cool for the left to be like obnoxious atheists, right?
Yeah,
We were all
I remember
there.
those days. Yeah, yeah.
And it was like
Yeah.
these people were pretentious to deal with, but you were like, well, I can't be like those conservative fucking Republicans. You know, they're stupid Bible thumping or whatever. But like, Jesus Christ, man, those people never moved on, and now they're like, and this woke shit.
I love how they like to both demonize the elite and bend over backwards for them
I,
and
I
spread the cheeks.
I'd still like to remind everybody who like got pissed off at Coke well after I did for all the slurs you can make, that Bill Maher said to Tom Cotton that he's a house N-word. That Bill Maher was not going to work out in the fields picking cotton because he's a house N-word. That's a real clip. You can find that. So you assholes who are like, Bill Maher is great and this is what the left should be, like, go ahead. I want you to just walk around as your little liberal. Yo, you know what? Fuck it. Next February, I want you to just tell everybody your funny joke about how you're a house N-word. If you think Bill Maher is so fucking great, why don't you do that? Why don't you do that, liberals? I'm not even fucking joking around. If I anytime like I might just start like I might spend the rest of the year obsessively collecting clips of these assholes saying racist stuff and just being like, hey, here's conservative darling blank telling you what he thinks about, you know, black people for Black History Month. So when he tweets about Black History Month, remember, here's what he really thinks. Justin Trudeau in blackface, Bill Maher saying the N-word, like the whole fucking 9 yards. Like just remember, these are your fucking darlings. And then when we get canceled, right? When we get canceled by them, there will be a couple leftists who are like, holy shit, these guys are telling us the truth. And then they won't give us money, but at least we'll get the views we desperately crave, right? That's all we wanted. Like, that's the secret to this show. We don't want your money. Like, the money would be nice because then we'd have a nicer show to give you. But we just want your attention. We don't even really want it in the sense that we want you to fawn about how great we are. We want you to be like, hey, we see that you're there. We just want to acknowledge that ourselves exist, right? That's all we really want.
Speak for yourself.
What do you want?
Not the unbearable lightness of being known. That sounds miserable.
Oh, well,
I want to
okay.
go through. I want to go through this Conservapedia list of worst college majors.
Oh,
Oh,
sweet.
please, yes.
Just give me like 5 minutes and then the floor is yours.
Sure.
All right. Yeah, that's all we want. But like we'll obviously alienate ourselves from the Democratic voters. And then like if the Republicans are like these guys are criticizing like the liberals, we'll be like you're like the liberals if they did nothing but suck on fucking lead chips all day though. Like you understand like you're the people we think shouldn't vote.
Roll plus more brain dead.
And the most they'll say about it is like, well, at least they're being honest, like about their liberal bigotry or whatever. And we're like, see that the use of your word liberal right there tells me you don't know what a liberal is.
Their use of the word honest. Just
Yeah.
proves you don't know what honest is.
You barely have a grasp of the word honest.
Do you even know
Just
English?
vaguely know it's positive.
Yeah, you vaguely know that word means something like an affirmative or positive thing. You fucking brain dead idiots. The Bernie article, man. The Bernie article kills me. This is our. By the way, this is what we call in the business a segue. So we're gonna teach you a little bit of
Segway.
The Bernie article is amazing.
It's that thing that you make me ride around, right?
Yeah, that's actually a segue, and that's my nuts.
You ride from one topic to the next.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
In the wind. Very slowly.
Yeah. But they're very small, so it's not a fun ride. It's really hard to stay on.
You got the wind in your hair because you put a wind machine down while you're going.
It's a giant shaft, right? It's a giant shaft. But
throbbing.
pea-sized testicles. It's the comparison. The shaft would be like Jupiter, and like the balls would be like one of the moons, like two of the moons. And when you scale it down, we're talking like 10 inches to like the Planck length. You know what I mean? Like we're just talking tiny balls. The tiniest of balls. My voice is only deep because of voice modulation. Yeah.
Like caviar.
This bit didn't work as well as they wanted it to, so back to Conservapedia.
Oh, okay. Sure.
Yeah. So
Is that my segue then? Is that the segue you're punting the football over here?
I'm about to. You see the quarterback lining up for this throw?
Yeah.
Line
Up that throw. Yeah.
So I'm reading the Bernie article, right? And right under Bernie's they have one of their many schizophrenic subcaptions is Paul Manafort, Bernie Sanders, and some fuck, where they spend the entire sentence underneath it linking Bernie Sanders to some fuck, and then they randomly include a sentence: Paul Manafort went to prison. And if you want to talk about like unrelated, like A plus squidge equals fucking donk, right? Like math, like not sensical math at all. Like it was the epitome of piss poor logic, because like anybody can just like imagine like your kid is telling you how their day went, and they're like, and Paul Manafort went to prison. You're like, what the fuck does that have to do with anything right now? And only conservatives would be like, I see.
Thank goodness.
You're being deranged again.
So, with that derangement, this gem you found, take us there, sir.
All right. Okay. First, we're starting with the undergraduate majors.
Okay.
And guess what number one is on their list of worst college majors?
Women's studies.
Ooh, close. You're very close, sir. But you know who they hate more than women?
Black people.
American Indian, Native, and Indigenous Studies.
I was damn close. I was damn close. They don't consider any of those people anyway. So
Not at all. 0%.
They were all objects.
Just raw racism. Number one.
Oh,
all right. Number two coming in two is animal science.
Really?
Who needs to know about animals? Go figure.
Beyond just like raw veterinary work, I suppose.
Animal science of all things. Yeah, I didn't think it ranked that high. Number 3 would be anthropology and archaeology,
Really?
which they all tend to have a degree in, so they can spout their bullshit without getting caught and say that they're a doctor in archaeology.
Wait, hold the fuck, because like, how are you supposed to prove about the Nazi Hyperboreans if you don't have those things?
What do you mean? You can't have those things.
They said it's useless. That's what they did. Because, of course, I feel like they're fighting their anti-history lean there. You know what I mean? They want to grift on it. They want to grift on it, but they see it's kind of history, I guess. So they don't want to. God forbid you go dig up some dinosaur bones.
Goddamn! You're right. The dinosaur bones. Conservative Christians. You can't. The Earth's 6,000 years old.
It's the dinosaur bones. Yeah. The dinosaur bones.
Yeah, I already got my ass.
Number 4 is art history, because you're going to see a lot of art here. But art plus history is quite possibly the worst combination of things for them.
Hold on. Chat points out, is this list in alphabetical order?
Well, it's in numerical order. Alphanumerical.
Alphanumerical. Okay, so this isn't necessarily what they actually rank as the worst. These are just out of the 50 when they list them in alphanumerical order.
No, it's numerical. I mean, it looks like it's alphabetical. It looks like it's in alphabetical order, but then it jumps around, so I can't really be sure.
So
it's like around P, it just kind of like jumps to S, and then they put justice and peace studies at the end. I really don't know. It looks like it's in alphabetical order though.
How long is this list?
There is 58 links. 58 things here. So I'm gonna blitz through this list here for you, just so you get a feel for the things that they hate the most.
50? Why 58?
If that's your question on the logic of this, I really can't help you.
Okay, all lists are arbitrary, right? All lists are arbitrary, but 58 is a really weird fucking list number. I feel like I'm not being like too pedantic here.
It's you're not thinking about it right. It's not 58. It's 58 so far.
One for each state. 58 so far. Okay.
Yeah.
Negative 58.
This is almost certainly just another list that they're just constantly compiling.
So like my jab collection, this is a living document.
Yeah, right. Yeah. It looks. I mean, it kind of feels like they just they kind of had some favorites and they slotted them in there, but then it ended up being in numerical order, so they were just being lazy. Maybe I don't. They're just like, yeah, put that in the list, you know.
Okay.
Maybe it was auto sorted by a machine or something.
Chat points out maybe they can't count because it could be one for each state.
It could be. It very well could be. I do not know.
That's true. They may not.
All I know is you need to clean your room.
Okay. Well, you know what though? That is good advice. Like Jordan Peterson's allowed to be right on one
great
thing.
Great advice. Yes.
Yeah.
One thing, and all the rest is bullshit. But
yeah.
Anyway, let's go ahead and throw out a couple more. We got Black Studies, so I mean that's in there. I mean maybe that could have been first, but I think because it didn't start with an A.
Yeah.
So business administration management, which is surprising.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
Child and family studies is a useless degree because okay.
I want to point out that BAM.
Too many feminists? I don't know.
That ruins my theory that these were libertarian Christians. Because that's like literally like, oh yeah, you got to have that.
Well, maybe they're just elites or something. Jewish something. I don't know. Whatever the fuck they talk about.
Christo-fascists.
The next one is one of their favorites here, climatology, that they had to repeat twice. Because they hate it that much. The comedic arts, we got commercial art and graphic design, we got communications, we got comparative religion. I didn't even know it was a major. Creative writing, criminal justice, culinary arts, dance, drama and theater, economics without a numerate bias.
What the fuck?
Your guess is as good as mine. English lit and literary criticism, because who needs
that checks
literature?
out.
Okay, the Marxist economics.
Okay, that's what they mean.
Yeah, but even
by
then,
numerate bias.
that numerate bias is like calculating x over v equals profit, which is also in Marx. So like they think they're dunking on like Marxist economics while just accidentally not revealing again their like total inability to understand Marx on
Well,
like
yeah, I
the
mean,
most basic points.
I mean, it's a Wikipedia, so someone just goes in and just throws some shit down just to say they have a page. So I think they just kind of this is like a greatest hits, just kind of
I'm
thrown out
telling you,
there,
it's 58 so far.
like a old man's penis in the wind, just kind of open and out there, you know.
At the gym.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, so we got environmental studies again, exercise science, fashion
Again.
design, film and video, fine arts, forestry and range management and wildlife management, gaming management, gender studies. Wow, that's kind of low. But golf management, graphic design, again with the art, Hispanic studies, because again with the racism, history, because of course, history of music, because of course, horticulture, who needs plants, human resources, interior design, Islamic studies, journalism, Latin, leisure studies, liberal arts, because of course, LGBT studies, music, they really don't like music, music and art therapy, outdoor adventure leadership of Laurentian University. I don't know why that's so specific. Paralegal studies and pre law. They don't like the law? What?
Obviously.
Philosophy, photography, psychology, physical fitness and education, puppetry, secularism. See also view on atheism, sequential art, social work, sociology, urban planning, video game design, women's studies, and justice and peace studies. At the end, with no logic at all, at the bottom. So
Excellent.
yeah, that is the list.
Excellent.
It's a bit much.
By the way, this is one of my favorites. Quotes from National Socialist Heinrich Himmler. This is under the article for Marxism.
Oh boy, the other Marxist page.
So you want to talk about giving away the game, right? About one of your biases. In the course of history periods of capital, this is how like okay. There are a few errant quotes decontextualized entirely from the Third Reich, right? That could lead one to believe that socialism was a driving force of the National Socialist movement. Again, you would have to hyper decontextualize them. I'm going to read this to you. You tell me if you think this is one of them. In support of Marxism, right? In the course of history, periods of capitalism and socialism alternate with one another. Capitalism is the unnatural, socialism the natural economic system. Does that sound like Marxism so far?
Those are words.
Those are words.
Those were definitely words.
The National Socialists and the Red Front have the same aspirations. That also seems to be a little bit suspect, right? And let's bring Mr. Himmler's statement to a close now. The Jews falsified the revolution in the form of Marxism, and that failed to bring fulfillment. Does that sound like something that supports the link between National Socialism and Marxism?
You lost me a long ago. I can't even follow.
Yeah.
I don't even what.
Yeah,
Is this a bad German to English translation?
No, this is the Nazis saying that Marxism fails because of the Jews.
It sounds a little bit like word salad is what it sounds like to me.
This is one of the things they use as a statement for understanding Marxism. It's a failed Jewish plot.
Do you know what word salad is? It's where you pick your favorite words and you just sort of put them in a salad every now.
You toss it. You
just toss a few in there.
And you throw some cherries and some croutons, maybe, and just kind of just.
Michael Jordan Peterson's got it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Do you see?
This is word salad. Capitalism, Marxism, the Jews.
I mean, of course, on this topic they'd have brainworms, but God, jeez, woof.
This is also one of my favorites. They number one, so they misunderstand what Himmler said there, but because they have an anti-Marxist bias, they grabbed an anti-Semitic quote from Heinrich Himmler that by the way, which decouples Marxism from socialism, right, and makes clear that in the the nationalist socialist worldview, they're talking about primitivism as the natural economic system, right?
Mhm.
And then blames the Jews for a failed Marxist plot. Like that's what they
That checks
use
out.
as one of their pro-Marxism quotes to speak like, see, these horrible people love Marxism. They literally picked one quote from Himmler that could not any more make clear that the Nazis felt that Marxism was a Jewish plot and that's why it had to be destroyed in their Holocaust. Conservatives are amazing. This
Obama riots.
fantastic.
I'm sorry. You keep going. I'm sorry. I just
Thanks,
saw that.
Obama.
I was like, what?
Tossing that word salad. Yeah, that's the best way to put this. Here's one. Quotes on Kim Il Sung. You all understand what that means, right? That these are quotes about Kim Il Sung.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to the orchestration of terror, Kim Jong Il is a natural born genius.
Oh, thank goodness.
Thank fuck they're not even talking about. They're so fucking racist against Asians. They can't even fucking understand that Kim Jong Il and Kim Sung Il are two literally different fucking. Excuse me, Kim Il Sung. I misspeak. Kim Il Sung and Kim Jong Il are two different fucking people.
That doesn't sound right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's racism in a nutshell. They just all of them are the same. That's just all the same. And
Yeah.
that means that that opening means it's a cue for me to go in with the violent Marxism section, which immediately goes into Occupy Wall Street and Obama riots, having
Badass.
failed to bring about the violent Marxist overthrow of the existing social order and governmental system. The same organizers and groups attempted again, this time in a nationwide coordinated effort during the 2020 leftist insurrection. What? Black Lives Matter. Oh, following the model of the 1960s, Black Panthers was anointed as the spearhead of the revolution, with Antifa playing the supporting role of the Weather Underground to bring about a national liberation movement from capitalist oppression. So let me get this right. Violent Marxism is black people.
Yes.
So transparently racist. This page, bro. This racist narrative was turbocharged with the concept of white privilege, the notion that whites, the dominant demographic group in capitalist America, are irretrievably racist, sexist, homophobic, xenophobic, imperialistic oppressors who exploit everyone. Whites are the only true evil in the world and should be exterminated.
Fact.
Dr. Kamu Kamban, I never heard that guy, who taught Africana Studies 241 in spring 2005 semester at North Carolina State University, also said this needs to be done
Not at
because
all
white
creepy.
people want to kill us.
Oh, hold on. Not at all creepy. They know that much about the man.
Mm-hmm.
Not at all creepy. They stalked him and found that information out. If it's even true.
I don't even know who that is.
It's a fan fiction.
It makes sense. It has to be something because this is. Oh, okay. I thought we'd get away from George Soros a bit, but they had to throw it in the violent Marxism area.
Of course. Oh, here we go. Now we're getting See, the anti-Semitic bias is really coming out in Conservapedia. Excellent.
Oh, I saw they was warming up to go into critical race theory is what it was.
Badass.
Bad. Which is the next topic. These guys.
Okay. All right. You want to get ready? Let's talk about our man Nietzsche.
Oh.
Hold
on. You gotta give me a minute before you go to Nietzsche. Hold on.
Yeah, let's.
Okay, go. Okay.
All right. Specifically, the topic of nihilism, which, if you had to pick which of the parties probably best represented a nihilistic worldview right now, which one would you pick?
Is Gen Z a party?
No.
Okay.
We're gonna use the traditional scoop of American political parties: a Democrat, Republican,
Then
Green.
actually, I'm gonna take a curveball.
Is the liberal Jew media a party?
No, well, those are gonna be
I'm gonna take a curveball here. I'm gonna go
Oh
with the
man.
left because Gen Z is primarily on the left. Take that.
Oh man.
The answer you weren't hoping for.
Yeah, it's the conservative party that views human beings as expendable. As a property.
No.
Including
No.
themselves. Yeah, you have to view yourself
See,
as worthless before you can view others as worthless properly.
Oh man.
Yeah.
This
It's hitting you right in the face, right? And that's why the Gen Zers are nihilists, because they're viewing themselves as worthless in this world, right? Which is actually a severe crisis on its own accord, but not the crisis they're describing. So let's talk about the atheist Friedrich Nietzsche, which is already a fucking problem.
it is, isn't it? Isn't it?
Yeah. So I think either by like everybody's general interest in Nietzsche, right? One of the four masters of suspicion that blew open the world, or by me shoving it down your throats. We're all familiar with the parable of the madman, right?
Hey yo, I'm on the Hillary Clinton page. I'm deep in this shit, motherfuckers.
Oh yeah,
on the Hillary
we are definitely making it
page.
to an hour. So real quick to recap for everybody. The parable of the madman says somebody comes down from the mountains, realizes that human beings have murdered God and committed a crime so great we're not even fully able to comprehend in the moment it happened what we've done. Does somebody who believes that human beings have murdered God reject the existence of God? Because God died is a really different than God's like not real. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You kind of had to believe there was a God and that human beings specifically committed the great sin of deicide to make the argument that Yad Vohe is dead.
But that would be basic logic.
That would
And
be
you can't apply that. You can't apply that to conservatives. You just can't.
incredibly basic. So to call Friedrich Nietzsche an atheist, somebody who weeps for the death of Yad Vohe thanks to modernism, right? On the back of contemporaries and forerunners and people who will come after him, Marx, Nietzsche, Freud, and Darwin, right? The big four masters of suspicion who said something doesn't seem right here. Does that man sound like a fucking atheist? Before he went insane, argued that moral, religious, and metaphysical convictions lead to nihilism's corrosive effects. That it causes the collapse of meaning. No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all. He does argue that the collapse of meaning precipitates a great crisis in human history. He does argue that, but all of the extra words they add fuck up a basic understanding. Just an incredibly childish fucking philosophy 101 or 102 understanding.
So anyway, Friedrich Nietzsche, famous atheist.
I'm sorry. I have to interject here in just a moment. I looked up the KKK page, and and it says they're a traditional militant wing of the Democrat Party.
What?
What?
I think they mistyped. Isn't it supposed to say that there's really good people on both sides? Isn't that what that's supposed to say?
No.
It says they're violent leftists. That's what it says. That is what it says.
So to give them due, up until 1960, that was true. What happened in 1960?
I'll take the Southern strategy for $500, Alex.
They don't admit it existed.
Yeah, if you pretend that we're still in 1954, they're
Off
right.
the Magic Dragon.
It's 2022. Something happened in between. You might want to look that up, motherfuckers. Anyhow.
Oh man.
So, actually, what Nietzsche argued. So I can tell why they have a big problem with Nietzsche, right? Nietzsche argued that Christianity was loaded with a whole lot of vindictive bullshit. And I'm going to use that nicely, right? Christian love. I talked about this before, right? Christian love. What's Thomas Aquinas say is the joy of heaven? Well, you get to watch all the people in hell boil and burn. Right? Like that's your great reward for being a pious Christian. You get to watch sinners burn forever. That's not love, right? That's not if that is love, that is the love of somebody who beats his wife. That's not
Oh, cop
that's not
love,
love you want.
police love, the thin blue
Police
love.
love.
Yeah,
Police love.
which unfortunately nails their asses to a fucking T, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it fucking nails them. They go on to babble about a bunch of shit. I'm not. I can't do it. I can't.
It must be so hard to be them. Everything bad is the Democrats.
It really the amount of things you have to jump through to where you're misquoting Heinrich Himmler and his condemnation of Marxism as a Jewish plot. That you have to
Mm-hmm.
leap so far, or that you have to pretend it's 1954. Like it's brain death. It's intentional brain. Imagine just like being like, if I electrocute myself a little bit every day, I know parts of my brain are going to die, and that's my goal, so I'm going to do that. It's the same thing. Conservatism is a mental illness. It really is. Like, you know, they always like to say liberalism is a mental illness. They're giving away the game. They're giving. That's all they're doing. They're just giving away the game. That you have to be a conservative, you have to live in a delusional world where you deny just basic facts, and you have to fucking make disjointed, incoherent sentences. You have to simultaneously, like, if you go to their Israel page, oh boy, it is really fucking, it really
Israel
lauds.
page? Yeah,
Yeah,
because they have to reconcile with both the Jewish aspect and the oppressor aspect, right?
yeah, yeah. And
No
if you go to
nuance
their,
there, no material analysis, just straight up dumb.
yeah, oh boy. And they're really big on Jews in the biblical abstract, which is always a warning sign, right? Like when you fetishize,
Hashtag Pharaoh was right.
right? The first anti-Semitic conspiracy was for the people who were like, "No, I'm pro the Pharaoh."
Ramses is our guy.
Yeah, Ramses, he's our man. If he can't do it, no one can.
Oh, Ishtar.
That's right. That's switching to Ishtar, baby. She's honest. Love is about busting. If you love it, bust
Oh,
it.
Ishtar. Bless it.
Yep, if
Bless
you
it.
love it, bust it.
Is you. Do me a favor and go to the Hillary Clinton page.
No. Okay. Poor Jank.
Oh no.
He thought we was gonna have actual analysis today. Sorry.
I am developing brainworms reading this.
We got derailed by Conservapedia.
Clinton is known for her racist remarks. Again, they have random sentences that happen to be true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how Wikipedia works, right?
Yeah. But Wikipedia has way more baseline correct information. Wikipedia is a 100 and a 101 course on everything.
Yeah.
That's it. Wikipedia is fine. Everybody wants to shit on Wikipedia because it's a public repository of knowledge. That is more or less just a bunch of 100 and 101 courses. Sometimes they have the weird guy who knows too much about one subject and it gets a little more heady, but otherwise it's all 100 and 101 entry level shit, and that's perfectly fine. The fact that we have outsourced 101 level college courses is one of the most impressive feats in human history. Accidentally, completely, as a complete flip of the capitalist epoch, it just so happens that it happens during the capitalist epoch, right? But that is one of the achievements of humankind, that anybody can get a crash course in the 101 college level on any subject, and people shit on it. And, like, it's fine. It's fine. Honestly, a lot of people could use some time on Wikipedia reading the basic understandings of things. I will, like, All of my knowledge started there because I wasn't trained in the university, right? And then I did the further reading. Conservapedia is like a petri dish if you pissed in it. Imagine a brain surgeon who masturbates onto your skull instead of fixes the fucking problem. This is what Conservapedia it is. It is fucking... We are the pornography of theory, and they are the pornography of stupidity. This is perverse what we're doing, and not in a fun way. I'm sorry for that.
This is really what they think.
Yeah, it's like what a collection of them have as random thoughts is what it is.
Yeah.
That's why it's 58 majors so far.
Travelgate, a primer for millennials, wins the night.
What were we going to talk about? I mean...
okay. Oh boy. Yeah. This is funny too because a lot of time they use the Clinton, so you actually don't know which one it was. That's cool.
Sounds very, very honest.
Ooh, this is interesting. They're very much pro Bill Cosby.
Of course.
That's weird.
Is that weird? Why.
Actually, I take it back. That's not that weird.
Not for them, no.
That's kind of weird.
Not for them, it's not.
In real life, yes. In Conservapedia, no, not so much.
Although for some reason, like on the pro Bill Cosby thing, they like let's see if they mirror this. Because they don't mention that Bill Cosby was they mentioned that Bill Cosby was handed an award by President Barack Obama. The title, the authors of Prairie Fire: The Politics of Revolutionary Anti-Imperialism. The title taken from the sayings of Mao Zedong. The book declares we are communist men and women. See again. Okay, Ayers and Tom use their celebrity. What in the fuck is he even talking about?
I'm telling you, it's just salad, man. You're reading too much into it. They don't need to read that much.
These read like my joke notebooks. These read like my joke.
I don't know if that's something you want to admit about your joke notebooks, man.
No, this is something you need to know about comics. All comics have joke notebooks where we just jot down errant thoughts and see if we can transform them into a bit. It's not schizophrenic because it literally is just like I'm going to write this down and explore this idea later. I'm going to riff on this later, right? This is like somebody took like one of their joke notebooks and put it on the internet and was like, this is all fact now. Like those things read like schizophrenia even though they're not. This reads like schizophrenia because the sentences are somewhat coherent. They just don't make any fucking sense. Any individual sentence on here is self-coherent, but it doesn't make any fucking sense. Except like Aaron's sentence like Hillary Clinton's racist. Yeah, no shit. Oh wow. Ooh, you did a lot of research for that.
So here's the thing about this, right? I have a theory. So this is what happens whenever people want to get as many of the ideas that are in their head out on a page. It is your joke notebook, right?
Yeah.
And this was something like my writing at like age 12 was like this, where I was just like, I need to get all these words out. And the coherency of a concept is just not there. Right? So you're like you're writing and you're like, "Oh, wait, I almost forgot. I need to insult Obama in here." Right? So it's Obama is a racist, and it has nothing to do with the fact that you're talking about Mao Zedong.
Yeah, they're just words.
And here I thought they were having a stroke on the page.
Oh, they're stroking on the page, all right.
Are they arguing that the patient protection?
Terrible ink. That is a terrible ink. Cursed ink. Cursed ink. Murder ink.
Okay, this is amazing.
Is it good?
Yes. Thanks to the...
Is it just them jerking off onto a page?
No. Obama passed his signature legislation, the Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act, on March 10th, 2010. All, period.
I'm sure
Capital
that's
A,
all they have to say
hold,
about that.
hold. Capital A, period, capital A, also known as Obamacare, period. That's a fragment of a sentence. That was supposed to be a comment in a lowercase a, for anybody keeping score at home. In keeping with his progressive ideals, the bill used coercive measures to force Americans to buy insurance they didn't want or need. Skip an entire sentence because it's worthless. The act originated in the Democrat-controlled House, was amended and passed the Senate just prior to Senator Ted Kennedy's death, with no Republicans and 44 Democrats voting to oppose. The way that sentence is supposed to mean, no Republicans supported it, 44 Democrats voting to oppose in a Senate of 100 people. Okay? How it reads is that no Republicans opposed it. That's a problem because they're trying to take credit for the Affordable Care Act. Second off, count the fucking numbers of the fucking Senate. The Republicans always have at least 40 fucking seats. That's 88 votes to oppose. 84 votes to oppose if you run their numbers. And I'm playing conservative because I don't know the exact figure. They are saying out of 100 people, the bill passed with 12 people, but also 0 Republican opposition and total Republican opposition. This is not just bad writing. This is schizophrenia. They're literally trying to take credit for the Affordable Care Act by saying, look,
I'm confused why you're confused.
I'm so confused.
Throw in a love triangle and you have the laziest writing I've ever heard.
Yeah, I mean, all I'm waiting for is the fucking Affordable Care Act to start sparkling in the sunlight.
It turns into diamonds.
I'm just like, okay. Anybody, like, keep in mind, if you ever run into somebody who quotes Conservapedia, they can't understand math. You can't be in the same car as them. You can't be around heavy equipment.
You cannot operate heavy equipment in Conservapedia.
You can't go drinking with them because that's like drinking. That is like poisoning a minor or somebody who's differently able to this point of like requiring severe round-the-clock care. If you actually run into a human being who quotes Conservapedia, back away slowly. Do not give them any responsibility.
I'd be too worried about putting something in my drink, Bill Cosby style.
Yeah, but they wouldn't put a Rohypnol in because that requires enough brain process to understand cause and effect. They would put like rat turds that they thought were flavor pellets. Like they would just randomly like pick shit off the floor. They put like dirt in your drink. You know what I mean? Like they're not functioning adults.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, I don't know how you'd expect that.
Yeah, I genuinely,
nothing
I don't know what you were thinking.
To understand it.
I expected them to be lying. I didn't expect them to be incoherent schizophrenics.
You clearly haven't watched enough of them on TV.
I'm sorry. Like, I apologize that I thought enough of them that I thought they were just the most, like,
you thought they were actively malicious. They're not malicious. They've never been malicious. They're inept.
They can't be malicious. A dog can't be malicious.
Right. It's been trained to do that.
A comatose patient cannot be malicious. They lack the high enough functioning order to act out of malice. This is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ. I'm honestly, like, I'm to the point where I think you should just not engage conservatives at all and pretend they're not there. Unless you're like, okay, let's get you a bib. Like, let's get you a bib, buddy. That's neat.
Let's help you out here.
This is insane.
Nah, baby. This is one of them states where abortion's illegal. I'm just throwing that shit in the bathtub.
Yeah.
In the dumpster. That's the difference between me and you. They're midnight dumpster babies to me.
Yeah, right.
They're prom night dumpster babies.
This is...
Prom night dumpster baby.
Oh boy, let's see what they have to say about Flint, Michigan.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. A failing of a democratic state, clearly.
I just got to hear when they get to Booty Judge.
Pete.
Because Mayor Pete was in charge of that one, right?
Let's see. He was the mayor of South Bend in northern Indiana from 2012 through 2019, and it did nothing to reform its systemically racist police department. Again, errantly correct. The progressive degenerate Secretary of Transportation under the Biden regime.
So did they say it? Did they say that as like a positive for him? Then is that the implication?
No. I love how they say administration for Republicans and regime for Democrats.
Right.
Very cute.
During the great supply chain crisis of 2021, Buttigieg took 2 months maternity leave.
It's a supply chain crisis now?
Yeah, and attempted to cancel Christmas. As Transportation Secretary, Buttigieg oversaw the Biden regime's massive human trafficking program during Biden's open borders. Biden is operating on Trump's border policy. Buttigieg remains a top goal of the homosexual agenda to place him in the White House. There we go. I was waiting for the phrase.
There it is.
I was waiting for it. It's one of my favorites.
The bread and butter.
The homo-Jew conspiracy, baby. It's my favorite. Here we go. We got homos and Jews working together to bring down America. All right, now you're showing your true colors, Conservapedia.
It was only missing the word media.
Yeah, right? No, it's coming. Ready? As an openly homosexual man.
Sorry for
spoiling it. Buttigieg is expected to run again for the president in 2024, also a fact, with up to $1 billion leftist dollars available to fund his candidacy. False. There is no such thing as $1 billion leftist dollars. It's like finding a lesbian who only fucks men. Mathematically impossible.
The Soros bucks they're talking about.
Yeah. His relatively short height for a presidential candidate, only about 5'8", perhaps less, may be an impediment. Oh, these are very short conservatives. Wikipedia.
Dang, they gotta even slam his height.
Mm-hmm. Actually, they're defending him on the grounds of height.
Oh, these guys are so short. These guys are like 5'3".
Yes.
Oh man.
Yeah,
I don't know, dude. They're just
Mr. Pete and Kristen Buttigieg. When did he call him Kristen Buttigieg? This is hold on.
I can't.
Did I miss this?
So many questions. So little answers.
Where did he? Biden calls Buttigieg's husband Kirsten. That's from the New York Post. I don't know if I trust that.
I don't know if I trust that either.
That's from the New York Post.
I mean, that sounds like a Biden thing to do.
The problem is this is exactly the kind of Biden flub where it could be viable. But
it's not malicious.
They're just like, I don't know.
Is it Kristen?
They cannot help themselves because they're literally attacking Biden. They're literally attacking Biden for calling him Kristen, which it was Kirsten, allegedly, right? So they can't even get the name right for the insult, which also shows that they're also trying to insult Chasten, who's a bro, and we should protect him from Pete. And I believe that. I'm with Chapo on this one. And but they're also making sure to say that Pete is an end. Pete is a means to the ends of the homosexual agenda under the Biden regime.
Yeah, that checks out.
Yeah, while he claims to be a Christian, he is clearly and critically anti-Christian in his ideology and aspects of his life and morals. Interesting. Oh boy. Oh God, not reading that hate crime. Whoa boy. Not reading that hate crime.
You know it's bad.
Yeah, we're not afraid to drop us one of the H bombs, but that's It's a Hitler too far for the sons of Trier, my friend. Buttigieg is a left-wing conspiracy theorist who believes America is under attack by white people, and that the U.S. was never as great as advertised. Half of that is true, but he's also trying to make it worse. So,
It's always something.
And don't forget to delete your Facebooks.
Well, his liberal mother was an army brat who was also a linguist and professor at Notre Dame, and whose great-great-great-grandfather was a Jacksonian Democrat. Later, he's trying to rename the annual Indiana Jefferson Jackson Dinner Democratic. Okay, this is another one of these fucking word salad moments. Indiana Jefferson Jackson Dinner Democratic Dinner.
Yep. See, they word saladed themselves too far.
What?
Since
they doubled up on their salad.
Presidents were holders of slaves. So you just attacked them for owning slaves and then defended slave owners. Literally from the same fucking party. They're both Jacksonian Democrats.
In the same sentence.
Not in the same sentence. No. They do this thing where they like to break it up. They are smart enough to break up their own.
You're giving them too much credit.
No, they really are. They really are smart enough to break up their own inconsistencies, and it's entirely because they think their readers can't after another paragraph they think their readers' brains are clear again, and that they're just a little bit more coherent, cognizant than the person who's reading it for info, right? These are clearly Alex. Let me put it it's like Alex Jones. You know when Alex Jones self-contradicts? He's like, I'm just smarter than my audience, so it's okay if I'm self-contradictory because they'll never figure it out from sentence to sentence and they'll just repeat it. It's the same exact thing going on. So these are not very smart people, but they are they're acutely aware the people they're talking to have a more severe case of brain poisoning than they do.
I mean, who's going to Conservapedia?
Brain rot.
Exactly. Who's going to Conservapedia? Us, and to make fun of them, and people who have severe lead poisoning enough that they think Conservapedia is more trustworthy than Wikipedia. That's who.
I guess.
This is kind of terrifying in a way. Keep reading. I'm loving it. All right, you want me to go a little more on the Buttigieg?
Yeah, do it.
All right, one more gem. Buttigieg is noted for his use of meaningless Marxist dialectic double talk and buzz phrases, such as democratic capitalism.
Boy, that is a fucking sentence right there. They managed to Marxist dialectic double talk and phrases. They managed to pack every single one of those buzzwords in there, didn't they?
They really did.
It's even better because democratic capitalism is the very system they defend on every other fucking page, including the Buttigieg page. This is astounding. Because democratic capitalism is supposedly the America they fucking want, right? Which, again, we're giving away the game. We're giving away the game when we say things like this. Holy shit. Then we start going into tangents. The Green New Deal proposes eliminating air travel. They're so fucking insane. They don't even realize that Buttigieg was like, oh, yeah, we'll just make cars more expensive. Everybody can take planes everywhere. That was literally one of the things. You fucking remember when I went fucking ape shit on that one, right? Not long ago. He was just in public. He's like, just do air travel. Fuck. Buttigieg's father, a communist, Joseph Buttigieg. Fact, actually. There's one of their errant facts. And I feel bad for Mr. Joseph Buttigieg that this is the child he ended up with. They're also correct. He does look like Alfred E. Newman. Again, I'm going to give them points where they're accidentally correct. No, it's not on purpose.
Yeah, I mean, they're correct in spite of themselves, not because of.
Yeah. In spite of themselves, they landed on something. And by the way, it's always minimally correct and it's never contextually correct. In the progressive tradition of Jim Jones's Rainbow Family, Buttigieg touts himself as America's first openly gay presidential candidate.
Family.
That's an amazing sentence.
It is.
Here's another errant one that's a gem. Scripture is unambiguous. God is not confused. Buttigieg's homosexuality is a consequence of idolatry and the rejection of God. I'm not quite sure they understand idolatry.
Oh,
Again, it's just salad.
you
I'm
shall not have
very worried.
false idols except the Donald.
Thou shalt have no gods before Donald.
Mm,
Thou shalt have no gods, but no gods before demagogues.
they certainly do seem to imply that Yadhe Vohe is significantly subordinate to Donald Trump,
Oh yeah, I
Right?
mean obviously.
which that's literally idolatry.
I
Like,
don't know about that. You're
it,
just
No,
using
it
you're just
is.
using a definition of idolatry. If you assume that they're right, then they're right.
that's true. If you just don't know what words actually mean.
Yeah, I mean
Everything is true when
that
you
is
lie.
always your biggest problem is you're using the words as they are defined and also as they're used commonly. You need to stop doing that. And I'm just going to end the sentence there.
Okay, that's Chad is also right. I am starting to overdose on the trash can of ideology.
Hmm.
Everything in me that makes me a metaphysician, right?
So what should we do as a brainwash? As a not a brainwash, I guess.
Do
You
10
know what I
Hail
mean?
Marxes.
When they watch cute kittens after watching some horrific nonsense.
Yeah, so that
Um,
they associate cute kittens with the horrific nonsense.
let's see if
Yes,
we
yes.
let's see if we can get the tech in order and watch some Eche anime tomorrow and just clean this trash out of
Thank
us.
God.
Yeah, let's do something. Let's do something genuinely fun. How's that
Nice.
Listen,
sound?
That sounds
that sounds
good.
pretty good.
I still desperately want to show you guys Agent Ika. I'm not gonna lie.
All right, then do it.
I'm down.
I should. It's on. The good news is it's on Tubi in English, so we don't have to work very hard.
Gibbity dibbity.
Yeah. You're in for a treat. If you're into the '90s sci-fi and you're into panty shots, you're in for a treat. I've actually been to Conservapedia before you shared it. I have washed it from my brain, and you have done this to me, chat. So I don't know if glad's the word. It certainly
Very
did fill an hour.
very specific niche.
It was
Man,
certainly
we're
an
gonna talk substantial stuff too. He's gonna
yeah.
piss off some libs, but I guess we did.
Oh yeah. Also, we feel bad for Ukraine. Those Ukrainians don't deserve it.
That's true.
Yeah.
The ones that aren't Nazis.
Yeah, the subsect of Ukrainians that overlap with Nazi ideology, those are fine to die, but the rest of them don't
Yeah.
deserve it. But that goes without saying for any group of people. Like there's what, like maybe 600.
They're
There's
the
like what?
exception. They're
There,
the exception that proves the rule.
right. There are like 30 million American Nazis. There's like probably if I had to guess, South America absorbed a lot of Nazis. So if we pick any Latin
Man,
American countries, we're probably talking 5 to 10% of them. Like the rest, the great mass of people don't deserve it. But
the sheer caucasity to be in a complete emergency and still be racist.
yes, the
Listen, I
audacity
need
of
a
pure
doctor, but
caucasity.
maybe not that doctor. He's a little dark.
Get a different fucking doctor.
Yeah, that's okay. I'd rather bleed. Why? Well, Doctor Washington, I just I think I'll be fine.
I don't feel clean with him touching me.
Yeah. Well, Doctor Washington, I have nothing against you personally. However,
I
Mostly
just think you're dirty.
you.
yeah, you can understand why I might not want you to be my doctor, right? No, I don't. Could you enlighten me? Uh,
No, I
Good make me
can't,
say
and that's
it.
the problem. I cannot enlighten you. I get it. It's a skin tone joke.
Yeah.
Mm,
No.
those are groans of understanding.
I'm
No.
proud of that one.
No, I can't tell you why. No. Yeah, all right. So this has been the boys. We love you.
Shit. The boys, we do love you. Stay safe.
Stay safe. Don't die.
Don't die.
Yeah. Love you, chat.
Seems easier to do now.
It is unfortunately easier than ever. Yeah.